On GTV Breakfast, adult music, and then quality, easing us gently into this segment. Hey, it's Thursday, it's Mini Friday, Throwback Thursday, whatever you want to call it. We want to inspire you to go out there and have the most awesome of days as we wait for Friday. And if you're a Ga person in Gamashi today, you know it's a big day. We are lifting the ban on drumming and noise making today. No hogama bi fe mi banye de manye. Liake ngwene na show dada ne wobale mi wa ye gamami. Nya wo fe wo jiapo ni woba nya wo afiyeli ehe. Let's all come out in our numbers and celebrate what is our own. Congratulations to everyone who has complied by the ban which is being lifted today. Tonight we party. We've been quiet for a month. The gods have heard our silent prayers. And today we can get out and make some noise like only Ga people know how to do. Boli, benu ofiole. Owakbe yegama mishanine ne ashe odada. We'll meet this afternoon and connect with Obonu TV, which is also owned by the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and they will bring you all the sights and sounds you need to see at the Odada celebration this afternoon. On this side, it's still Breakfast Live on GTV. You should join our social media handles, follow all our conversations, and
I'm not giving them fuel to continue to burn. That is to continue to provide these services. So if the public become aware that these are the issues, then when someone comes to persuade you to join or to borrow from these entities, you would be careful in doing that.
My first question would be, now that you've talked about how they came to be, there is a gap that these entities, you call them illegal, are attempting to fill. What are the steps being taken to ensure that those gaps do not even exist? Because if people need access to funds and they are not getting them through the established means of financing, can you understand why they fall prey to some of these things?
I think the issue of gap here, in a way, I can't say that it is imaginary. And in some sense, it will be real when you look at the information gap. I will actually associate it with information gap in the sense that for the past 3 years or so, Bank of Ghana, in its wisdom and in its bid to promote financial inclusion, has given approval to banks to partner with mobile money operators to make available digital credit to Ghanaians without they having to provide collateral. And these loans are properly regulated. They adhere to the best of consumer protection principles and standards. They also take into consideration AML CFT issues, that is money laundering issues, and data privacy and protection issues as well. These loans, popularly called Momo loans, I believe you know these loans. People access these loans on the go. And from the data that we have in Bank of Ghana, it shows significant patronage of Ghanaians of such loans. And we see people from interviews that we've done with people. We carry out, by the way, we carry out agent surveillance exercise across the country every now and then. A team returned to Accra just yesterday night, and we interact with people across the length and breadth of this country. We have been doing this for the past 3 years, and we meet people who access some of these loans, buy oranges, go and sell, make their money, pay back their loan. We have people who have stalls selling biscuits, toffees here and there. That is where they get their capital to trade. A lot of people are making use of this. So this alternative is there, very robust, and Ghanaians can easily access it without any hassle. What we know in most societies is that those who tend to do criminal things tend to be loud-mouthed. They speak a lot. They tend to be convincing. Those who are unsuspecting of their wicked activities easily fall prey to whatever they promise to offer. At the end of the day, they are subjected to serious harassment, and their private data, including national ID records and all other personal information, are made available to these entities. The serious thing about it is that the phone that one uses to access this service in a way becomes hacked because they get access to data that is on your phone, including the whole of your contacts on your phone, and they begin to broadcast information to them and also use it to pull more money, more people into their scheme. They will make sure that that information moves from your phone to the other person's phone. And because you have a very good friend who is giving you that information, you tend to believe it,
so
and you also fall
about
prey.
Those people who send messages asking you to come and take loans, is that it? Or is it about those who send all these general messages to perhaps WhatsApp platforms and say, there's this investment opportunity and I've tried it before, I know it works, so contact Mr. ABC so that you can also get your share of the money? What's the target here?
Yeah, they are also part of it. They are also part of it. Those people become agents. Some of them willingly submit themselves to be agents of such schemes. And there are others who become victims themselves and unknowingly try to propagate the information. So they are also part of it.
What do you know of how they get people's information? Because sometimes the loans messages are so targeted. They know that this person is a government worker, and they craft the message to say government workers can get an advance or they can get some monies and they can do this. How do they know? How do they have that information if you didn't tell them?
In security parlance, they say that the weakest point becomes a point of entry and disruption. If one person falls prey to this group of persons, it opens the way for all the other contacts, all the persons on that person's contacts to be infested with the same information. So it just takes a little opening in the whole ecosystem for them to get in there. That is why we are here telling everybody in this country to be wary of such schemes.
And if you've been unfortunate enough to, can I use the word hacked, or been sent some of these messages, what's the best way to, some say block, and some say delete them, and some say don't call the number, don't click the link. What's the best way to handle it if you do get some of these messages?
The best way to do some of these things is to, if assuming it is a group platform, you have administrators of the platform. Recently, WhatsApp even changed the liability of administrators on the platform. It became stringent, and that you cannot pull yourself out when the platform on which you find yourself is used for criminal activities. So it behoves on them to make sure that the person who has been the conduit for such information will have to be taken off the platform. And the next thing that most Ghanaians do not do is to report. If it is of financial nature, as we are discussing now, it is important that you make that information available to the Bank of Ghana as part of the feedback loop in the whole financial system.
Report to the Bank of Ghana?
Yes.
How do you report something to the Bank of Ghana? Do you have to go there in person?
You don't need to go there in person. If you go to the Bank of Ghana website, we have a Twitter handle there, there's a WhatsApp, we have Facebook that when we are having our MPC meeting, we know you broadcast through Facebook, you can provide. And we also prowl the internet. So sometimes some of the comments that you make out there in the public domain using social media, we have tools that are able to pick some of this information, we analyze, and we follow the leads as well. If you may ask me, which you have not asked and let me volunteer here, is that these solutions are posted online. And the World Wide Web is a huge area. And you cannot use manual tools to identify these entities. We are always prowling through the net, doing extensive surveillance online to be able to identify these two entities with proxies. So even if you are not able to report, but we encourage you to report, you can report on our social media handles. We still are able to get the information if you post something online complaining or commenting about some of these developments.
Have you been able to so far follow up on a complaint, for example, and been able to establish where the people are operating from, these fraudulent persons, these scammers? Have you been able to identify any of them and actually seen where the physical place where they are operating? Or is it solely a social media space monitoring system?
These are online entities, and we use corresponding tools to identify them. I would say here that the good thing about transacting online is that no matter how much you try to conceal your activities, you always leave a footprint. And that footprint is what we use to trace. You trace, you see, maybe you are the agent. Through you, we get to see the links to another person. Maybe it's linked to another card here, links to a wallet somewhere there, and that is where we are able to nab the people with the active collaboration of the security agencies.
So you're able to close some of them down?
We have been doing actively, and we're still engaging partners, that's the security agencies, to do that, in addition to the entities that provide opportunity for them to host their apps. So it becomes easy if we go to the right process, and we have been doing that because of our stature as a regulator.
What other sanctions are there? I'm asking because have people been prosecuted? Have people been arrested and taken through the legal processes and made to face or to assume responsibility for the act of scamming people?
Some of these things are happening, but they are not in the public domain. We have been taking proactive steps this time with the security agencies, that when the time is up and all the investigations have been concluded, it is likely,
but not yet,
it's just likely that there is going to be a public display. We will make a public display as an example to all Ghanaians that those who engage in illegal activities to the detriment of the well-being of the financial service industry and the whole country will be brought to book. And that will happen. The due process will be followed, and it will be happening. A lot of work is happening behind the scenes. But as I said earlier on, this notice is to let Ghanaians know that we are still monitoring the space as part of our work. We don't go to sleep on this. We do it regularly, and we need their support to stop patronizing this service. And that when the time is up, you will have the right information in the public domain, and you see people who have been apprehended in respect of some of these illegal activities.
Okay, so we hope that you're listening. The Bank of Ghana is here trying to clarify the issue about the blacklisted entities who are being flagged for operating without the required licenses. The BOG released a list of those entities. Take a critical look. Perhaps you're doing some business with an entity that is not licensed. So here is the list on your screen now. We'll go through some of them. Mr. Blay, so the list that the Bank of Ghana released is going to be put on the screen now, and that is it. We've made that list available on our social media platforms. GTV Ghana, we keep telling you, go follow the page and get all the required information. The BOG has sent that list to us. I'll be reading it out very shortly. We've just posted it on our social media handles. So go and look through the list. If you're engaged in any kind of business with any of these entities, what do you have to do, Mr. Blay?
You have to stop. Don't get involved with these entities. They are going to harvest all your private information, and they are going to make them available all over the world when they intend to compel you to pay loans that are given to you at extremely exorbitant high interest rates. The seriousness of data privacy breaches associated with the activities of these entities is that you are likely to have the data on you being sold on the dark web. Someone is likely to impersonate you and commit a crime in your name. In the course of investigation, you could be followed and be made the one who has committed the crime. You will now have to go through a hard process to prove your innocence. And I don't know how easy it will be for you to exonerate yourself. And this is something we have to be very careful about. Some of their patrons have gone into depression because of the incessant harassment that they have been subjected to. It is important that we desist from doing business with these entities. You are allowing them to have your personal data without they adhering to any data protection norms and principles. No protection is given to your private data. Your private data is likely to be sold to criminals, and you will be impersonated, as I have spoken about earlier on. So you then have to realize that it is better you go to the formal financial service providers. I've always said that when you evade what is legal, which affords you protection by the law, you end up subjecting yourself to chaos and disorderly living, which will cause you anxiety.
And the Bank of Ghana has no way of, retrieving your information from these illegal entities once you willingly give in to them and provide those details to them yourselves. Then you only have yourself to blame.
You only have yourself to blame, yes.
So we'll put the list on the screen again, because it's important that you identify which of these companies you should avoid doing business with. 97 items on that list: Flash Cash, Accra, J8 Lending, Mo Loan, Rapid City, 100 City, City Help, Masidi Consult, City Boom, Cash Loan Pro, Air Cash, Aquaba Payment, For Credit, Ghana Lending, Account Credit, Ghana Loan, Mac Loans Ghana, Imbosia, Momo Cash Loans, Prime Loans, Easy Access Loans, Cash Pie Online Loans, Happy Loan, Money Loan App, Plus Loan, Mega Credit, Bowen Cash, Lemon Wallet, Coco Cash, Cola Cash or Cash Cola, Rapid Money, Cash Star, Loan Galaxy, Bit Cash, Ucash, Fan Cash, Quick Cash, True CD, Robin Personal Loan, Kudi Credit, One Rapid CD, CD Story, CD Cash, Soft Cash, Easy Cash, Dates Cash, Bosiapa, Yo Cash, Fufu Credit, Top Credit, Derived Cash, Eagle Cash, Cash Wave, Card Loan, and the rest: Sikabas Ultra Loan, Fund City Ghana Loan App, Mika Cash Loan App, New Loan Ghana, Zip Loan, On Loan or Want Cash Credit Ghana App, Bloom Cash, Home Credit, Aquaba Cash, Ajinkwasika Personal Loan, Cashway, Hello City, Sunny Cash, Sunny Loan, Gold Miner, Enjoy Credit, City Wallet, Pro Cash, City Fee, Hela Cash, Daily Cash, Fee Cash, Sikadria, PK Loans, Smart Loan, Loan Papa, Cool Cash, Mo Loan, Rapid City, City Fee, Moko, Sikakasa, Chase Loan, Joy Cash, Coco Loan, Pop Cash, Loan Hub, Credit Mall, City Pros, Mom Cash, Get Wallet, Keep Loan, and Cash Coco. I have to read that list out for the benefit of our hearing impaired audience, in case you know that you're doing any business with any of these entities. You should desist from making any further arrangements, whatever loan situation you have going on, you should cut that out immediately. The Bank of Ghana says they are not legal and that your information is not protected when you do business with some of these entities. But Mr. Blade, do you find that some of these people can go legit? For example, once they've been put on this list, what if they come to you and say, okay, we admit that we started this off wrongly, we want to do this by the books? What solution would the Bank of Ghana provide?
The Bank of Ghana has laws that are publicly accessible, and the laws communicate to everybody who has interest in providing credit service in this country. And the foundation law is Act 930, that's the Banks and Specialized Deposit Taking Institutions Act, and other related enactments that empower entities through Bank of Ghana license to be able to deliver credit. If anybody wants to deliver credit, he should go to the right route to do that. And we will not have any problem with that.
And what's the process? What do they need to bring? What criteria do they have to meet?
The process is an elaborate one, and I think on this platform, all that I want to say is that if you have interest in providing credit to customers or to persons in this country, visit the Bank of Ghana website. The documents are there. Acquaint yourself with the document. It doesn't end there. Most of the times people will visit us to seek further explanation on the content of the document. Our doors are open, and we can assist you with the right information for you to begin your journey of getting approval to deliver credit in a regulated manner.
We are getting some messages coming through on our WhatsApp number 055-556-1034. These are the thoughts of those who are sending them. Mr. Blake, perhaps you help us understand what some of these
before that,
messages
I
mean.
want to make put an information out there for the general public. We have displayed the list. I know some of the people will say that this is a lot. How do I know where to go when I need credit outside of these entities? On the Bank of Ghana website, licensed entities have been displayed conspicuously there. If you do not have access to internet to do some of these things, and you are an ordinary person that will want to make use of some of this online credit service, you should make it simple by accessing what the Momo service providers are making available to persons in collaboration with banks. That is the easiest way to go about it.
Okay.
If you want digital credit, go to those people. Their USSD platform apps enable you to access the credit. You go through certain process and you be pre-qualified.
And those
for
are
the first
licensed and legal?
Yes, the mobile money operators.
Okay.
They are working in collaboration with banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions. So they are doing that. These are legit entities.
Okay.
So Ghanaians should look up to them.
Let's take a few of your messages. 055-556-1034. The first one I have from a viewer. Good morning, Thelma. I'm pleading. Bank of Ghana's approach from the time of Piram and R5 has been the same, which failed to protect vulnerable investors. They know the Ponzi schemes. Why can't they stop at once to save us? History shows they are cautious. Their cautions have not helped the public much. Francis sent us that message. They're saying that if you know these things, shut them down before they make away with lots more people's monies before you come out to caution them, and that the cautions haven't helped much to improve the situation. Do you agree?
I wouldn't fully agree in the sense that it is a two-way process. You are shutting them down because there are patrons out there, people who are interested in their product. They move to another place to set up. So we try to inform the populace that these entities are not legit. If you want entities that are legal, are operating by our license, they are on our website. They are these entities. Work with them. But sometimes people fall prey to these entities, and that is why we are putting out this info for the education bit. You shut them down, another one comes, you also shut them down. However, we need the other side to act for us to have an effective way of eradicating the space. So I would want him to also be an ambassador. Anytime that he gets any information on his WhatsApp, he should do well to let us have that information, and also sensitize his WhatsApp group that they should not use the services of such entities. And that will help. If they don't get active demand, they will fizzle out.
Ambassador Francis, you have your answer. So be an advocate for stopping some of these entities from working. More messages on our WhatsApp number 0555561034. Good morning, GTV. Thanks so much for discussing this serious issue. I'm a victim. They have destroyed my life and business. I don't know where. I didn't know they were illegal until I found out. They are dangerous, very dangerous. They abuse their clients. They insult and rain curses on their clients when they default. We appreciate what the BOG is doing, but they must do more. They should shut them down. They should track and arrest and prosecute them. They have finished me, and I've regretted engaging these scammers. My only plea to BOG and state security apparatus in the country is to immediately clamp down on these people. Mo Saeed sent us that message. He says he's a victim. So once you unfortunately fall prey to some of these people, and they start harassing you, what avenues are available for you to seek help? Or is it that because it's illegal in the first place, the law cannot protect you?
The law can protect you when you willingly report to the rightful authorities that I have been persuaded to take a loan from these entities. I didn't know they are illegal, and this is the trouble I am going through. So I'm giving their information to you to act. But you see, there's one interesting thing about doing things illegal. When you do one illegal thing and you find yourself in trouble, you try to do another illegal thing to cover your tracks. And when you get to the dead end, instead of you reporting, you try to find a way of dealing with the situation because you yourself know that you have done something illegal. So most victims,
like Mo Saeed, who is just messaging us, he said he did not know they were illegal, but they found out only after they had
after you have become a victim. And that is why I said that when you realize that it is illegal, people are hesitant to even report. That is where the problem is. If the first few victims had reported, it would have changed the situation. People are hesitant to report. See, it's a human nature, but we need to break out of it. That you feel that, oh, I should have known better. What would they think of me, having allowed myself to be deceived?
I'm getting
but
more
it
and more
shouldn't
messages.
be so.
And Pocus is saying, Thelma, they give loans for 1 week with high interest rates. Failure to make payment on or before the 1 week ultimatum will attract those embarrassments. They will send your pictures and brand you as a wanted criminal to all your WhatsApp contacts. It actually happens because we've seen some messages. Kafide shared one of them on his social media handles recently, and the insult, the kind of language that they were just, venting out on this poor person. It was just crazy.
They'll broadcast that information to all your contacts. That message, they'll broadcast it to all your contacts. This person cannot be trusted. He doesn't repay lawful loans.
You are a fraud.
You are a fraudster. A whole lot of things.
Good morning again. Mind you, these illegal entities do their best to penetrate into communities that have low or no knowledge of education and persuade them to believe that with just an ID card, they can get a huge amount and save with them as well. They knock on their doors and make friendly gestures, and that makes most Ghanaians very feeble to them. Salma sent us that message. Is that one of the ways they operate? They go from door to door now?
And that is why I spoke about their agents. Mm-hmm. And this model happens outside big cities. Some of the regions far away from Accra, they go to the remote parts of those places. A few educated fools that happens to be the eye of the community are recruited and they help people to be onboarded. I told you we did some agent surveillance and some of these things came up. Those ones, very easy, localized, and you deal with them. And that is it. So it is real, the consumer education bit. That is why we are sitting here, and within our financial literacy and consumer education framework, more of these things will be done. But we would want stories of victims to make themselves accessible, put their stories out there, help us to use their stories to educate
the Ghanaian populace. I think I should get you in touch with this person who is messaging us right now. Mosaid is still online on our WhatsApp number. He says he's made an official complaint to BOG. I've made a complaint to GPS. I've made an official complaint to Data Protection Commission. I just hope and pray some action is taken. For me, they have sent my pictures to my friends on WhatsApp. Fortunately, almost all my WhatsApp contacts are aware of my situation. So Mosaid is saying that he has followed the due process, that the harassment is still continuing. And so once you report it, you just sit and wait until the cavalry arrives?
Know that a lot of action takes place behind the scenes, and we don't want to, as I said earlier on, when we start tracing from his information that he gave to Bank of Ghana and other regulatory entities, we have been able to make headway in addition to all other information that we have received. And when you are doing such investigation, you don't want to just follow one lead and stop there because we have been able to deal with this guy's issue. But it is a network. So it is important that you round up the whole network and make sure that everybody within the network is within your net, and you deal with them. So a lot is happening there, and tell him that we are extremely grateful for volunteering the information, and it's been very useful in addition to all other information that we have received from other victims, and that is why we are here, in addition to what we ourselves have been able to gather, and we continue to do that, and he will see an end to his predicament.
Alhaji Dauda from Madina Estate is also sending his message to us on our WhatsApp number 055. We'll be wrapping up very shortly, so send them very quickly. 05555611034. Alhaji thinks you have a good voice for the lecture hall, but he wants to ask a different kind of question about money lenders in their homes who we go and take monies from and pay interest. Are they also legal? There are some people whose business it is to give loans and not, through all these paper processes. You just go, you meet auntie or uncle or alhaji or alhajia or Mr. or Mrs. or Dr. Prof, and you explain your situation to them. They give you money and they give you terms. It's a gentleman's agreement, a lady's agreement. You take the money, you do your work, you bring it back to them. Are those also regulated by BOG?
No, BOG does not know those people at all. We don't know those people.
Okay, so personal loans and those you don't do with other, if you take loan from a friend, for example, that's not covered by the BOG. Someone is messaging us, Holy Stone from Abokobi. What happens to the people who applied for the loans from these fraudsters with their personal information unknowingly? So if you've unknowingly done business with them, what's going to happen now? Thelma, these operators often threaten defaulters with blocking their lines. What can we do about it? Alhaji Haruna is asking this question. Mosaid, yes, send some of the information to us. I'll hand it over to Mr. Blay here, and he will carry it on from there. But if you are threatened that your line will be blocked, for example, can they do that?
They can't block your line.
Has this exercise of SIM registration helped matters in even tracing the people behind some of these messages? Because there used to be a time when you couldn't tell who was using what number. Has SIM registration helped in this fight a little bit?
I won't say a little bit. It has helped substantially. It has helped substantially because you have your biodata in the database linked to your SIM. So if the SIM is used for anything out there and it happens to be criminal, it can be traced.
So what's your message
it is
to
assisting
people who are
us to trace people who are doing the wrong thing. I would use this opportunity to encourage fellow Ghanaians to take the same registration exercise serious. But before that, those who do not have the national ID card should ensure that they have their national ID card and link their SIM to their national ID card. They should also ensure that the financial services that they use are properly verified with their national ID card. So if you have a bank account that you have not linked to your national ID card, please do that. If you have not done that with your Momo, please do that. It will help a lot.
In the meantime, just take the apps off Google Store and Play Store, like you're saying, so that more people will not fall victim.
We're working with all the stakeholders to get those things done within the right framework, and it is likely that out of deliberations, we will be able to fashion a more enduring solution to dealing with this canker, and than regular taking them down. So this is what we are looking at.
Thank you for the work that you're doing, and the Bank of Ghana, we hope that you do it a bit more quickly before even more people fall prey to such pranks. So do not do business with these entities that the Bank of Ghana has named, and the list is on our social media handles. Do not do business with them, and they are not licensed. They will not protect your data, and they will not offer you a pleasant experience if you should even default. Mr. Clarence Blay is a fintech and innovation office worker of the Bank of Ghana, and he's been trying to give us some details about this. Mr. Blay, we wish you a pleasant day.
Thank you.
Have the best of times, and thank you all for joining the conversation and for making this segment very, very vibrant. We want to send a very happy birthday message to Mr. Magnuson, who is a former administrator of the Ebenezer Presbyterian Church, Mamprobi. Today you are 70 years. We wish you God's blessing from all your friends at the Ebenezer Presbyterian Men's Fellowship, and also from your good friend Richard Mante Ochere. Big shouts to you. Congratulations. Says 70 is big. We all hope to get there one day. May you get 70 plus more. This has been our segment right here on GTV Breakfast. Connect with us via our social media handles, GTV Ghana, and follow us on all our platforms. I am Thelma Taki. There is more to spice up the rest of your mini Friday after the break, and of course, Kwabena all the way today. Enjoy.